Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk about Assetto Corsa EVO, the current state of the VR, the testing that I've done so far. It's been a busy day. I've tried to do some various content. I've tested the rain. I've tried out a new car or two, and I'm here just to let you know my feelings and to see where we are and what we think the state of the game is moving forward. I am just another sim guy. Thanks for joining me, and further on in the video learn how to get your hands on a 100% free copy of Assetto Corsa EVO courtesy of me. So you'll see in the footage there's a little bit of fiddling to do with the menus. I'm going to give you my sort of VR opinion only. Now it's just my opinion and it is based on limited experience at the moment, but I will be doing some more testing and looking at my settings and tweaking those over the next few weeks. To start off with, the introduction and the menu, it could do the UI could be a little bit better. It could be a lot better, let's be honest. I'm not going to leave you till the end. I'm not going to leave no big teaser at the end and give you a verdict. I'm just going to tell you the things as I go, as I saw them. And I also don't want to be talking over too much of the footage because I think the sound on this game is pretty good. There's a couple of little annoying things that keep catching me out. Every time I get into the car and recenter the view, it's way too high and I have to adjust the height of my view. It doesn't seem to save it globally, and it also doesn't seem to save it in the same car even, so I've got to do it every time. A little bit annoying. The AI does that little annoying wobble at the start when it pulls away. It seems to be a legacy sort of Assetto Corsa thing, but certainly off the start line the cars just don't behave as you would expect. Yeah, really strange. And in the HUD, you know, I'd really love to get this HUD turned off completely. I don't want any gauges, I don't want any overlays other than the ones I choose. I'd much rather clear it all off, especially for recording, and put them on, or at least be able to move them about as I see fit. And at the moment you're unable to do that, so that can be a bit of a pain. I'm not 100% sure if what I see in VR is exactly the same as what you see, but this is certainly a hell of a lot better than what we had a couple of months ago. So have a look and leave a comment and let me know what you think so far. And in a little while I will turn off my microphone and turn up the volume a little bit so that you can listen to some of the sounds and give your opinion on that. But for now we're at the Fiat, in the Fiat 500 at Suzuka. The frames don't seem too bad in VR. I've turned the frame rate counter off, and we've got to remember I am recording as well, so that can add a little bit of a load to the PC. Some of the stuff I really do like. I love the sounds. I love the sound of the cars. All cars vary, but some of the car sounds are great. The debris hitting the car is really nice. The engines, both of your own car in the car and the opposition's engines, sound nice. Little bits and pieces I think they've paid real attention to, like the hand animations going around the wheel and the hands when you're changing gear. I know it's little things, but sometimes those little things make a big difference. I think the rain sounds good. There was thunder in the sky, that sounded really nice. The tyre squill is not too bad, and obviously this is Kunos, so the graphics on the cars, the tyre models, the reflections, the models of the tracks, everything's pretty good. You know, it looks pretty good. It's not incredibly crisp in VR, and I do have some tweaking to do. I'd like to think this will get better, but it's definitely going in the right direction. You'll see when we jump into the Mazda in a little while that there is a little bit of a kick when you change gear. Now that could be down to my motion compensation not working properly, so I don't know if that's a fault of the game. The good thing is it works, but this sort of head movement that might need a bit of an adjustment could well be just to do with my motion rig. But on the whole, really positive. But before we carry on, I just want to hit you with this little announcement. As the title of the video said, I'm going to be giving away a copy of Assetto Corsa EVO to somebody who is subscribed and that likes the video and that comments in this video. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you leave a comment saying pick me. I will get all of our subs into a random number generator and I'll do it live on stream in the next few weeks, and somebody will win themselves a copy of the game completely free of charge. Once we know you've won, I'll contact you directly and we'll discuss how to do it. Now don't be alarmed, if you are already a subscriber then you're in a good place because you've already done some of the hard work. This isn't just for new subscribers, this is for all of my subscribers. So please don't unsubscribe and resubscribe. You'll still be included if you're already a subscriber. And the other thing, if you already own the game, don't worry, I'll give you the same value in Steam vouchers so you can buy something else. So don't forget, like, subscribe, make sure you leave a comment saying pick me, and you'll be entered into the draw. Anyway, back to the video. So I'll leave you with this replay footage in a second. I'm just going to restart my Mazda race as I made a bit of a hash of that. See what you think. See what you think when the sound's back on and you get a chance to listen to it. I think the Mazda sounds great. I've driven this car in Race Room, I've driven it in iRacing. The interior looks good. The exterior shots and the reflections look nice. Like I say, there's just a couple of little niggles on the game which I hope they continue to address, but optimization for VR seems like it needs to go a long way. One of the other little things that really annoys me is these massive red lights at the beginning of the race. You can't get a sense from the screen that you can see how big they are right in front of your face in VR, but they are massive and you can't really see around them. Now I know moving the elements of the AI around or turning it off completely, I'm sure there's going to be some adjustment for that in the future, but right now and at the moment it's the most annoying thing. So and the menus don't help. The menus take away from the whole experience. So hopefully, yeah, that'll be addressed. But on the whole, I think my outlook is reasonably positive. The success of this game, I think, is going to have a lot to do with how well received the likes of Project Motor Racing is. I believe there's some updates coming to Race Room later in the year, perhaps sort of September, October time as well. iRacing's constantly doing updates, but that might be a sort of different pool of people that look to play that. But there's always going to be new games on the horizon, and you know, the challenge for any game is that you know, you're releasing it in early access, you're giving people a taster, you want to get it out there, but they're going to remember that first impression, and if that first impression leaves them with a sour taste in their mouth, are they going to come back? So this early access, when it's not that well received, could end up being more harm than good. That's my worry, is that it's switching people off, and now it doesn't matter what improvements they make, people have already sort of made up their mind and moved on and are looking forward to perhaps another title. But anyway, yeah, so thanks for listening. I'd love to hear your points of view in the comments, so make sure you leave a comment, like, make sure you sub, get your name down for that free copy of the game, so make sure you get in that comment section, and also do join us on Discord. There's always loads going on. We've recently started a Dirt Rally 2 competition which has been really well received, and we're going to be doing more community races later on this week, so it'd be great to see you and have you participate in that. But as always, love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. The end of this footage, you'll see the cater room in the rain. There was some weird dodgy ghosting things going on. I think they sort of came out in the recording, but the rain looked like it was pushing my system a little bit, so definitely some optimization needed there. And then at the end we take GT Ferrari around Spa, which looks fantastic, and I'm not going to talk over that because the sound of that is really, really good. So if you're a fan of Spa, you'll love that one, so make sure you stick around till the end. I've been just another sim guy, and you've been fantastic for listening. I'll see you next time. Peace.